Morning guys, I hope we're doing well. Why eventually you won't want to go back to that old life of being stuck in addiction. Once your time clean and sober starts to build up, the months start to go by, you get to the 6 months, the year, you can start to feel a different way to live, a different way to do things, and you won't want to go back to that self-destruction and chaos. When I first started getting clean and sober, I wasn't really sure if I could do it because I don't think I'd had more than 2 weeks clean. So the first month, 2 months, 3 months, we're really just seeing, can I actually do this? Can I maintain sobriety? And after that period, it started to become more about building an actual life. Not just focusing on staying clean every day. Became more about developing meaning, purpose, fulfillment in different areas of life. So that I didn't want to go back to that old lifestyle of self-destruction, chaos. And for me, it was the first time in a lot of years I started to feel and see a different way to live. And I'm sure if some of you guys are watching this, if you've struggled with things like cocaine, alcohol, it really does have a massive impact on you. Impacts the way your life goes. It takes away things like relationships, interests, business. You just become a complete shell of a person. You start getting away from that. You're going to become a different person entirely. Developing different interests, seeing life totally differently. And it's one of them things you have to feel for yourself. And it can't really be done in the first couple of weeks of sobriety. This is something that takes months, maybe even a year. Starting to feel a different way to do life. I found I started to appreciate little things that I'd never appreciated in years. Things like spending time with my partner, cooking dinners together, silly things like that that I never used to care about when I was an addict. I'd be more interested in getting on it all night, being up all night. I wouldn't care about peaceful evenings with my partner. None of that would have really mattered. Start to appreciate peaceful evenings, appreciate waking up early, the calmness, the no anxiety after being up all night. Not having to look at your phone, worrying about you're pissed off from the night before, how much money you've spent. Just feeling and seeing a different way to live. And once you start to feel that, you won't want to go back to that. You just won't. The chaos, the self-destruction. You start to feel a different way to live. And as I said, with me, it's the simple things I started to appreciate. Massively got into the outdoors, hiking. Was never really interested in that before. Now I find it gives me a lot of peace, a lot of enjoyment. And if you're on your own journey, you're getting away from things like cocaine, alcohol, porn, all that type of stuff. You can start to find enjoyment in other areas of your life. And I think that's a massive thing in recovery, finding enjoyment in other areas of life. Once you start to do that, you won't want to go back. Now for me, life is still not easy. I had quite a big life collapse going back now nearly 2 years. And I'm still working through some of the consequences from that. I would pick where I am now over the addict that I was. Although I'm still rebuilding my life, I would pick where I am any day of the week. It's not even close. Because what I do have now is the peace in myself, within myself, enjoyment from different areas of my life. And although I'm still rebuilding, I wouldn't trade it for the self-destruction of being stuck in addiction, the chaos, the waking up with that anxiety, the debt, everything that it brings. I wouldn't trade where I am now for that, even though I am still rebuilding, still paying consequences from stuff 2 years ago. Some of it my fault, some of it maybe not, but nevertheless I'm still working through that. But I wouldn't give up where I am now, not a chance. I would say the goal of longer term recovery, like I said, I'm around 20 months in now, but I think the goal should be creating a better life, not just thinking of it as staying away from substances and behaviours. Although that was my thinking the first month. I wasn't in a position the first month of morning, mate. I wasn't in the position the first month to be thinking about building a life. I was still a complete mess. But as time goes on, you will start to feel life differently. Guys, if you're struggling, if you're in your first few days of sobriety, I know how difficult that is. I never used to be able to get to even 10 days clean and sober, so I know where you're at. I've got a free 7-day guide, clean and sober guide, to help you get through that. Just ping in your email address and the guide gets sent straight to you. If you're interested in addiction recovery and rebuilding, hit subscribe, and we'll be putting out content twice a week. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Have a great weekend.